I know where you're coming from when you say you can't stand your husband. And yeah, what I'm noticing with a lot of people out there is a tremendous amount of resentment towards their ex or their husband at the time, whether you're leaving your husband, you've left him, it's been a long time. A lot of people are holding on to an incredible amount of hate and anger and resentment. And I can tell you how to stop that because I got rid of it right away. I nipped it in the bud at the beginning because I knew that this is not a feeling that I can have, that I want to hang on to. It's going to eat me alive if I have this feeling. And luckily enough, I was able to be aware of this feeling right from the beginning. And I'll tell you how I solved it for myself. And if you've got little kids or you're not fond of some of the language that I'm about to say, then don't watch this. But you know what? I feel that it's time to get really real and say it exactly how it was for me so that you can understand your own feelings. You'll know through my own feelings when I share them. And then through your own, you'll be able to understand yourself and be able to make this decision. So, the last night that I slept with my husband, that we shared a bed together, I will say, I was in a tremendous amount of pain. So was he. And I knew that this was it. And it was my last night. And what happened is that he laid on one side of the bed and I laid on the other, back to back. And for the first half of the night, the only thing that I could say was, fuck you. I can't fucking stand you. You're a fucking asshole. I fucking hate you. And just get out of my fucking life. And I said it over and over and over again. And I had my middle finger at him over and over. And that's how I spent the first half of my night. Not a great night at all. It was horrible. And then what came upon me was, you know what? I am not going to be like this. I made that decision right then and there. And at that time, this is 6 years ago, the only thing that I knew at that time, and this is what I had, was I went into my drawer and I grabbed my rosary. And I know you might be sitting there going, oh God, she's going to talk about God now and all of that stuff. A little bit, but I'm going to guide you a little bit further. Yes, I grabbed my rosary and I hung on to that and I just prayed. I didn't even know how to say it exactly. I just knew some of the prayers, and mostly actually I think I said the Hail Mary because that's been one of my favorites from the beginning. So I just said that over and over and over again for the rest of that evening and into the morning. And it brought a tremendous amount of peace to me. And I was able to relax and I was able to rest. And like I said, that's all I knew at the time. And I know a lot of us are brought up with religion. And wherever you are in your life with that, it's where you are right now. And that's okay. But what I am saying is that when you are in crisis, it's a great way to get you started. And you can make further decisions from that. You can let that go. You can expand in your spirituality. Absolutely. I have myself. And it will get you moving forward into a new direction. And it will bring some peace to you. Because it might be the only thing that you have. It's okay to resort to that. Even if you're not feeling like God or whoever has been looking out for you. Yeah, there's times in my life where I thought, okay, if there's a God, then why am I feeling this shitty and why am I going through this terrible crisis, whatever that may be. But that's what I did. And from then on, I was able to step into more of a spirituality for myself. I had that. It was like the only thing that got me through anything. For the longest time, I used that rosary and I prayed and I prayed and I prayed and I prayed. And I went with my upbringing. And I give a lot of respect and credit to my parents and for being brought up that way. That's what they knew, and that's what they taught me to do. And to ask for things and to pour out my feelings, pour out my heart and soul, and ask for what I want. So that's what I did. And it was consistent for a very, very, very long time. And that has graduated with me in many, many different ways. It's not the first thing that I do. There's lots of different ways that I pray. Like I've talked about before, it's not to some man or up in the sky. It has transformed for me. And one of the things that I do now is I just say thank you. And I do pray and I ask for things. But where it's gone now is that who I'm praying to and who I'm asking for advice is to myself. And that's where I find the answers. So this may be something that you'll transform into for yourself. I don't know. I'm just sharing it because I know that a lot of you are still angry. You're hanging on to resentment, a lot of hatred. And the only thing that does is make you sick inside. It doesn't help you move forward at all and enjoying the most beautiful life that you can have. There are so many incredible things that have happened to me when I'm able to ask for what I want and be able to tap into that and then see what happens and receive it. It does bring a tremendous amount of peace. There is another thing that I say, and that's just thank you. Sometimes I've had it where in the middle of the night, all of this shit is going through my head, and I don't know how to solve it. I can't solve it. And I've just said the word thank you, and I've gone right back to sleep. So I hope I've given you a couple of great things to move forward because you don't want to have this feeling anymore. It's not nice to be hanging out with people who have this feeling towards their ex. I feel a lot of empathy for you. But try these things. Whatever it is that maybe you were raised with, try it first. Go back to it. You can always move forward and move on from that and develop new ways of prayer and thanks and gratitude. So have a great day, and I will see you again.